What truly separates the rich from the poor? Is it the money they have? The homes they live in? The schools they attended? No, the real difference lies in how they think. The real gap is not in income, it's in mindset. You can give two people the same opportunity, the same amount of money, even the same job. One will grow it, build it, multiply it. The other will lose it, waste it, and blame others for it. Because success doesn't start in the bank account. It starts in the mind. The poor mindset says, I can't. The rich mindset asks, how can I? One sees roadblocks. The other sees a challenge to overcome. One says, that's not possible for someone like me. The other says, why not me? The poor mindset waits for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, for someone to give permission. But the rich mindset doesn't wait, it acts, creates. It moves forward even when things are unclear, because it understands that perfection is a lie, and progress is the real goal. The poor mindset fears failure. It avoids risk, stays safe, and plays small. It says, what if I fall? But the rich mindset knows that failure is part of the process, that falling is necessary for flying, that every successful person has been knocked down, but they got back up, again, and again, and again. The poor mindset values looking rich, flashy clothes, expensive cars, the appearance of success. But the rich mindset values becoming rich, quietly investing, quietly learning, quietly building, because true wealth doesn't need to shout. It shows up in freedom, not flexing. The poor mindset trades time for money, working hours for a wage, then spending that wage on things that lose value. The rich mindset uses money to buy time, building systems, investments, and assets that pay them even while they sleep. The poor mindset blames the economy, the government, the boss, the parents, the partner. It always finds something outside to point the finger at. But the rich mindset takes ownership, says, I am where I am because of the choices I made, and I can change where I'm going by changing those choices. The poor mindset consumes more than it creates. It watches, it scrolls, it waits, but the rich mindset is busy building, writing, selling, serving, adding value, because it knows that the world pays you not for what you know, but for what you do with what you know. The poor mindset believes life is unfair and stops there. But the rich mindset also knows life is unfair and still wins anyway, because it doesn't expect fairness. It expects struggle, and it turns struggle into strength. The poor mindset avoids discomfort. It chooses ease, even when ease leads to emptiness. But the rich mindset embraces challenge. It runs toward difficulty because it understands that pressure creates diamonds and pain builds power. The poor mindset thinks small, plans small, dreams small. But the rich mindset sees the big picture, thinks in decades, not days. It invests now to live better later. It sacrifices what's easy now for what's meaningful later. The poor mindset seeks approval. It wants to be liked. It fears standing out. But the rich mindset is driven by purpose. It's okay being misunderstood, criticized, doubted, because its mission is bigger than people's opinions. The poor mindset sees education as something you finish, a certificate on the wall, a piece of paper that says you're done. But the rich mindset knows learning never stops. It reads books after school ends. It studies people. It invests in courses, mentors, and feedback, because wisdom is the seed that grows wealth. And growth doesn't come from a classroom. It comes from curiosity, from the hunger to know more, do more, and become more. The poor mindset avoids responsibility. It says, that's not my job. That's not my fault. Or that's not fair. But the rich mindset takes control. Even when life is unfair, it asks, what can I control? What can I change? What can I create? It knows that blaming keeps you powerless, but ownership gives you freedom. And freedom is the ultimate wealth. The poor mindset chooses instant gratification, the pleasure of now over the payoff of later. It spends before it saves, eats before it thinks, speaks before it listens. But the rich mindset delays gratification. It sacrifices now to build later. It says no to what feels good so it can say yes to what matters. Because discipline is the bridge between dreams and results. The poor mindset sees money as evil. It says, rich people are greedy, or money changes people. But the rich mindset understands money is a tool. It amplifies who you already are. If you're kind, it helps you give more. If you're creative, it helps you build more. If you're driven, it helps you reach further. Money doesn't create your character. It reveals it. And finally, the poor mindset waits for motivation. It waits for the perfect moment, the right feeling, the sign from the universe. But the rich mindset knows that action creates motivation. It moves forward even when it's scared, even when it's tired. It builds habits that carry it on days when inspiration fades. Because success doesn't belong to the most inspired. It belongs to the most consistent. And here's the truth. Mindset is not inherited. It's not in your DNA. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build every single day. Every decision you make, every thought you allow, every habit you follow is shaping your mindset. You weren't born with a rich or poor mind. But today, right now, you get to choose. Will you stay stuck in the old patterns, the limiting beliefs, the fear? Or will you rise? Will you think bigger? Will you stop waiting and start building? Because the journey to wealth, real wealth, doesn't start with a paycheck. It starts with a decision. The decision to change, to grow, to take full ownership of your life. And that decision is in your hands right now. Change your mindset and everything else will follow.